everybody, and good afternoon to you. How are you? So, a lot of things happened last night. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard, but for those of you that haven't heard, let me just fill you in. So, I was doing my thing last night, just minding my business, and I just happened to check Twitter and I found out that Amberlynn Reid's aunt, Tammy, was basically doing a live with Oh Lordy, it's Jordy. Not in the sense that she was doing a panel with him, mind you, but she was on the phone talking to Jordy. And Jordy had the speaker on so everyone could hear the conversation. So let's rewind a little bit. Amberlynn Reid has been in it for a minute now, like with everything going all the way back to Beck. I think it started with Beck. Beck, they came forward and revealed some things, and Amber was very upset about that. And then here we go, round two with Emily. Emily going to Mr. Snowflake. Now we're on round three, and now it's her own aunt, her Aunt Tammy. So, how did that all come about? Well, for those of you that don't know, Aunt Tammy, Amberlynn Reid's aunt, does have a YouTube channel. I don't want to show the entire channel because I went on the channel just out of curiosity because I saw a short that Tammy had done and posted it to her channel, hinting that she had a lot of tea on Amberlynn. And she was saying, I wonder who I can give the tea to. Maybe Mr. Snowflake? So, of course, I'm sure Amber heard about that. She was none too pleased about her own aunt perhaps going to Mr. Snowflake. But I saw the short, but I also saw all the personal stuff on Aunt Tammy's YouTube channel. And I have this to say to Aunt Tammy. Tammy, you really need to remove all the stuff that's on there because you're showing family members, you're showing children. Ma'am, no, you're getting involved in girl world. And even without girl world, there might be some shady people out there. You don't know who you're exposing your family to, but you involving yourself with Amber this way, it's not safe for your family. But anyway, so went on the channel, saw the short. Then, oh Lordy, it's Jordy was doing a live stream where he was covering the last live stream that Amber did. And he reached out to Tammy via a post. And I didn't watch the whole stream that Jordy did. I found out about it too late. But Tammy was actually on the phone with Jordy. And guess what happened? Amberlynn Reid was live and she was reacting to Jordy talking to Aunt Tammy. And she was having herself a little hissy fit, was Amber. So it was a whole lot last night. A whole lot. And if you're someone and there are multiple people coming forward and saying that you're hurtful, very, very hurtful, and they're pointing out patterns of behavior, patterns of living, different people, ex-girlfriends, friends, and now even family members, they're all saying the same things about you. It might be time to admit that maybe there are some problems that need to be fixed, but I spent a good amount of time last night gathering up all this stuff on Twitter. And then we're going to get into the video, a shorter version of what happened last night from the channel APATHETIC FAXX, because I'm not reacting to Amber's live stream. I'm a bit cautious about that. Those of you in the community, you know why. Because Amber has been on a tear, an absolute tear. She's going after reaction channels. Anybody that reacts to her or does anything she doesn't like, she's going after them. And I also suspect that Foodie's going after people. So I want to react to this, but I don't want to give Amber any way or reason to come after me. So we're doing it through APATHETIC FAXX. And I will leave a link for the original video from Apathetic FAXX. But you guys know what time it is. It is time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time to get started. I'm all ready to go. Let's see. Okay, so those of you that are on Twitter that you would like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you that you really don't care for the Bird app, I got you. But I'll keep you caught up with the Twitter stuff anyway, just so you know what's going on. All right, for those of you that are still interested in Foodie, let me give you the brief rundown before we get started. What's Foodie doing? She is currently in Doha. She's in a hotel room. She's eating a bunch of food. She looks very, very swollen and basically saying the same old thing. The end. that's the update. Alex is shook says, Foodie says Sasha's family asked them to beg. Sure they did. I got to get past this one post because Amber is going all the way off and using bad words. We'll come back to that later. Lilu Gingerwitch says, hey, Amby, is this you? Pammy says, manipulation is when someone blames you for your reaction to their toxic behavior, but doesn't discuss their disrespect that triggers you. Yeah, it sounds like Amberlynn, all right. Ghost Crab says, if you're still wondering why Big Al's Aunt Tammy hates Amberlynn Reid, here you go. Tammy was in a blank relationship with her man, basically telling her you stay with me until you die. She cheated on him, told her sister about it. Her sister is Amberlynn Reid's mom. Mama Lynn told Amberlynn, and Amberlynn blackmailed her aunt. Nice behavior by a niece. But let's watch the clip.
I opened up to my sister and everything was good. Well, she tells Amber. Oh. And so I actually told the man the night before this happened, ironically.
She actually needs to be quiet. Erin family tea that isn't hers is the air isn't cold. Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, she lives like 15 from me.
And so
15 minutes.
So I heard that too, that Amberlynn Reid's aunt is 15 minutes away from her. They're family. And I know not all families get along. In fact, there are some family feuds that, you know, people in family, just like anybody else, they can hold grudges for years. But Amberlynn Reid and her aunt are 15 minutes away from each other. If there was a family issue, why not just talk it out? But they're not talking it out with each other privately. All of this stuff is being played out publicly.
I finally tell this man, you know, I'm going to have to tell my husband. You know, we're not barely even talking.
Like, this is weird, man.
At this point, I'm not living like a double life, but, you know, I said, I have to tell my husband.
I guarantee you he hates himself after this for having to entertain this. I hope so.
We were talking about if we wanted to make a feature together and all those things, you know.
And the person you hear talking in the background is Tammy. And she's on the phone with Jordy. Jordy was doing his live stream and Tammy was calling in and he just was playing her conversation through the phone.
So we're in the process of that. And that very next day is when Amber tried to blackmail me. And she said things like,
Mary.
And it was to try to get my sister to come live with me again. Because I would not let her back into my home. She said, I wonder what your husband would think if she knew you were doing what you were doing with the karaoke guy. And that's how.
Oh no, 22-year-old Amberlynn didn't like seeing her mom homeless. So she blackmailed and said, oh, I wonder what your husband would do. Isn't that what she's been doing this whole time? Like, what are you?
I mean, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Like, this is all like personal family stuff. And it bothers me to hear this. It does. This is all family stuff. Really personal stuff. there are different parts to this story. I mean, Amberlynn Reid's mother had substance issues, from what I gather. She had substance issues. And the aunt was involved in a very, shall we say, very, very hurtful relationship with a very, very hurtful man. And before anybody asks me why I'm being careful with my words, it's because of YouTube. It's because there's just a feel these days of you got to watch what you say. So if I sound a bit weird, that's why. But anyway, so Amberlynn Reid's aunt was involved with a very, very, very hurtful man with very, very hurtful behavior. And I don't know the degrees of that, how bad it was. Maybe the aunt was in fear of her life if she tried to leave. Some relationships are so hurtful that you stay, not because you want to stay, because you have nowhere else to go. Or if you try to go somewhere, the hurtful person in your life, they could follow you, and the situation will get 1,000 times worse. You essentially feel trapped. I don't know if that was the situation with the aunt. Do I think that cheating is the right thing to do? No, cheating is never the right thing to do. But there was, like I said, there's so many moving parts here. There's the mom who had substance issues, maybe facing homelessness. You've got the sister of Amberlynn Reid's mom, who was in a bad relation. Maybe the aunt didn't want her sister staying with her because of the hurtful relationship. And if her sister, Amberlynn Reid's mom, was in a bad way, would that make the situation worse? I mean, like, this is all really personal stuff. But Amberlynn Reid, what were you doing trying to blackmail your own aunt so that your mom could stay with her? I mean, they're sisters. I'm sure if the aunt said no to her sister staying with her, there must have been a good reason why. I mean, normally family helps family. Maybe the aunt was just concerned about her sister's well-being. Like, is she going to get physically hurt, or is she going to go more down into the whole seeing and being part of that energy? I don't know.
I'm literally so confused. Holy fuck. I'm lost.
I knew she knew.
The very
Spooky. I thought they were married for financial reasons. I was lied to.
next day, she told her, and then she used it
Well,
against
the
her.
very next day, she threatened because she knew.
I didn't tell
That
anyone.
was on her because, like I said, I had already told him the night before I was going to have to tell my husband. It was getting to that point. No, I did not expect it to be.
I love how I'm the bad guy in this. Someone is cheating on their actual husband, but I'm the bad guy because I was like, well, what would your husband do if he found out? But yeah, I'm the bad guy. It's not the cheater. I feel like I'm in unhinged land.
Today, by all means, but because of what Amber said, I told her, well, joke's on you, because I was going to tell him anyway. So I walked right to the next room and said, guess what? You were right. I am having an affair, and we're done.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it backfired on her, but the fact that she tried made me pretty sick. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, because look, I'm not in agreement with what the aunt did. Cheating is cheating, and it's bad. Very bad. Shouldn't have done it. But Amber, you blackmailing your own aunt? I mean, what's wrong with you? All right, let's move on to something positive from Yog. Puppies making friends with a baby cow. Aww. Look at the cow and the puppies. Playmates for life. Now, this little one right here, he's just a spunky little guy and wanting to fight. Perfectly Imperfect says, Aunt Tammy dropped me the pic. So why does this picture matter? Because during the live stream that Aunt Tammy was featured in Oh Lordy, It's Shorty, there was information revealed that when Amberlynn Reid was working, that she made an actual sign. The sign is behind her. No outside food allowed. Must eat food made here. Why did she do that? Because she didn't want bag lunches. She was lying about the fact that bag lunches were allowed. So is that the picture? My goodness gracious. Milk Tea Notoriety Services says, I'm going to need the girls to coordinate their internet access. All I wanted to do today was a fun glitter haul. I'm not ready to take on more Amber mess right now. I know it's a lot, Milk Tea. It definitely is a lot. Post of Cat says, a normal day in Istanbul. So for those of you that don't know, Istanbul is a very cat-friendly place. Cats are everywhere. And they take a very unique approach to cats. Like no one has cats in their home per se. Like all the cats belong to everybody and they are well taken care of. As you can see, they're everywhere. They're in restaurants, they're in the cars, and people feed them and take care of them and give them medical care. But all the cats belong to everyone. So I love that. I love the fact that Istanbul is very cat friendly. Look, cats everywhere. Love that. Love it. Ugh. Back to Foodie. I don't cover you anymore, Foodie. But y'all can, look. Shut up, Foodie. Shut up. Be quiet. I don't want to play your audio. All I want to do is blow up a picture of you. She is in Qatar, Doha. She's been sitting up in her room, eating nonstop. You can tell, because look how swollen her face is. That's when you know she's really been going to town on the fast food, on the sodium and the salt. She swells up like a balloon. You are so swollen, Foodie. You look awful. Lay off the fast food, ma'am. DX says, Amber makes Chantal literal blank debauchery and deportation seem like child's play. This is like, people go to school to screenwrite stuff like this. Perhaps you're right. DX also says, Amber's mom and stepdad called her midstream, and this biatch is filling them in, unmuted. It's clear Mama Lynn had no clue that Auntie Lynn went live and just aired out all the entire family's laundry. Yeah, that was unprecedented, unexpected, shocking. DX says, Mama Lynn did not give a crap about the drama with Auntie Lynn and implied ALR is feeding the fire. Oop. DX also says, she said several things during that conversation to imply that Amber should shut the F up. Literally zero self-awareness. Didn't even hear it. All right, again, palette cleanser, aesthetics. Y'all look at this house. I want to live here. Cat friendly. That is so cute. Kristen says, to be honest, if my aunt did this, that would be Kristen's reaction. DX says, Amberlynn stole the name Wasabi from her aunt, and they stopped talking for over 6 months over it. So apparently, Amberlynn's aunt wanted to name her pet Wasabi, but Amberlynn took the name first, and it caused a bit of a family feud. Foop Olympic says, Chantal's going to have to sleep with the bellhop at the Qatar hotel to keep up with Amberlynn's mess, like OMG. Yeah, it's too much right now. It's way too much. And I love this comment from Valgal. Valgal says, Amberlynn's aunt live with Jordy. Amberlynn live reacting to her aunt. Rosie is in Amberlynn's chat. Chantal eating a club sandwich. Now, for those of you wondering the text messages that were in the short, what do they look like? What was in them? Like, what is a sample? We got some screenshots courtesy of Alex's Shook saying breaking. Amberlynn's Aunt Tammy releases screenshots with Emily Tommy. This crap is weird, AF, haha, but messy. Now, this is Amberlynn's aunt in the blue, and down here is Emily replying back to her. The aunt says, I have stayed quiet for as long as I wish. I have seen you for what you were from the very beginning. I tried to warn Amber and my sister. You all will get the karma you deserve. Hell has a special place reserved for people like you. Emily replies, I'm assuming you're Amber's aunt? Where are you even talking about? You literally know nothing about me. Leave me alone. The aunt says, I know enough. Then the aunt also says, I don't have to defend myself to you. You are right about one thing. We don't talk for a reason. Actually, several reasons. And you just happen to be one of many. You want to talk about embarrassment? Why don't you worry about raising your daughter instead of getting off on your sick fetishes? What do people in your life say about this? Or is it all this just a sick, twisted secret you play on your free time? Emily replies, yikes. Like I said, you know nothing about me other than stupid internet rumors. But the fact that you're going to betray your own family for a little bit of internet clout when everybody already thinks you're unhinged is wild. Emily, can we talk? You just went to Mr. Snowflake, ma'am. Ma'am, you went to Mr. Snowflake, Amber's mortal enemy, ma'am. Emily says, you know, whatever Amber told her mother, I'm assuming reliable source. Amber's aunt says, I would never base my belief on anything Amber has to say solely. I base my opinions on who you are and what you have done and what I have seen and read myself, as well as an overall gut feeling. My goodness, you're flipping feety, gross, and should be criminal in itself, taking advantage of the one sick and suffering for your own personal enjoyment and sick fetishes. You say leave you alone. How about you leave my niece alone for good before you blank her too? Emily says, you're reading internet rumors and making an opinion based off that. You're not different than any other everyday hater, and you're acting like you give a crap about Amber as a joke. She doesn't talk to you for a reason, because of how you act. What an embarrassment. So that's just a sample of what the aunt had to say, and I'm sure there's a lot more that she knows. I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg. DX says, Amberlynn lied to her aunt about not being able to take bagged diet lunches to her work and had to eat the food from the kitchen. Her aunt busted her, and Amber created a sign that said no outside lunches and took a photo of it to keep up with the lie. Yeah, and isn't it just convenient that the sign was directly behind her, nowhere else in the building? How convenient, huh? Doesn't look suspicious at all. Perfectly Imperfect says Amber made a fake sign and hung it up at her work saying no outside food allowed and showed it to her aunt so she didn't have to bring healthy foods for lunch. Of course she did. Of course she did. Perfectly Imperfect says, isn't it wild how every single one of Amberlynn Reid's relationships ends in chaos, fights, and hurt feelings, yet somehow she's always the victim? No wonder her nickname is Victim Lynn. At some point, you got to stop blaming bad luck and start asking what or who the common denominator is. Yeah, like what's the connecting point? DX says, so Big Al's aunt reached out to Mr. Snowflake with tea about Amber and Mama Lynn, LMAO. Now Amber is online airing personal family drama. Here's something interesting. Shenanigans says Amber never wrote her mom in prison because according to Tammy, quoting Amber, Mama Lynn wasn't worth the 42 cents stamp. Ouch. Ouch. And this is how I found out about everything popping off. The tweet Amberlynn, Perfectly Imperfect says Amberlynn's aunt has a YouTube channel and made it short with her conversation with Emily, aka Tommy, aka the Feedy. So like there's a channel. I don't want to show the entire channel, like I said, because I browsed through it and I immediately spotted a whole lot of family videos and kids were involved. And nope, no, that's too personal. No, 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 no. But there it is. There's the channel. Narcissist Girl says workplace bullying is truly unacceptable. I guess Amberlynn had a lot to say about Jordy. Let's watch.
I love Jordy. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Okay. Ooh, love you, Jordy. More super chats. Yes, we love Jordy over here.
Oh my God, that eye roll. Do you think that she's not being genuine about what she's saying? As is suggested by that eye roll? She just said that she loved me and then she rolled her eyes. What does that mean? Does that mean that she doesn't like me?
Jordy, she's your biggest fan. Truly, she's your biggest fan.
I don't know how to interpret this.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. Okay. Ooh, love you, Jordy. More super chats. Yes, we love Jordy.
Jordy is so confused. Poor Jordy. Oh, little interesting tidbit from Nain Let's Blurb saying, saw this on the farms about Amberlynn. Just thought to share in case anyone might care. Sorry, Oodles, if you don't, I shouldn't have. So this is, I guess, from Emily's account. The character in this Feedy fetish art she blogged is 14 years old. And look at the name she was using, Italian Oak. So Tommy was trying to say, oh, Italian Oak isn't me. But yet, strangely enough, Emily, you were using the name Italian Oak for a blog or a vlog of some sort. Strange how the name just keeps popping up with you. Zena says, Amberlynn Reid, Foodie Beauty. Not gonna lie, these two girls did help inspire me to lose a lot of weight. I was over 200. I am now 140. Congratulations. Losing 60 pounds is not easy. So big ups to you. I saw them and decided I don't want to be that. You know what's weird? Your comment, Zena, is not the first that I've seen like that over the years. I have seen multiple people say that they look at Amber, they've watched Foodie, and they're like, I don't want to get to that point. Well, I'm so unhealthy that I can't do anything for myself. I don't want to get to a point of immobility or being in a hospital or being bedbound. So I'm going to take care of myself. It's really strange. Like an indirect effect of Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty's content. Some people have taken what they've seen and they're like, I want to be a better me. And so they made themselves better. And I think that's fantastic. I think that Amber and Foodie are both walking cautionary tales. I'm like, if you don't take care of yourself, if you indulge too much, if you don't play an active part in caring about oneself, what you might become. So, yeah. Uh-oh. This person dragged Amber in this comment. Dried up Twitter hack says, I know she's not going to respond, but shut the F up and get off the internet. So here's the comment. Hi, Felicia says, girl, first of all, you need to jump in the shower. Second, you need to grow the F up. Actually commit to therapy. Stop blaming everyone else and BPD for your problems. It is you, and you met your match with Tommy. I don't mean that in a good way. You're getting doggone close to 40, still acting 14. Grow up. All true. All true. And here is the post that started it all. Lean Cuisine Enthusiast says the beat on the Reddit streets is that Amberlynn Reid's aunt is considered spilling some tea to Snowflake. Let us all pray to the Pillow Mountain gods that this happens. In Twinkie's name we pray. Amen. So this is what Aunt Tammy put. Debating on who I should sip some tea with. That's what started it all. Yikes, Foodie. And let's end this with something positive, shall we? This is y'all, pure joy. I can't tell if that is a Samoyed dog. Oh, they love the water. Big dog. Saying, I don't want to get out. Come on, Mom, let me stay in the water. Let him have some fun. All right. I just wanted to end on a positive note. It's time to react to the drama, and we're doing a much shorter version. We ain't got to be here all day. We really don't. Again, this is courtesy of the channel Apathetic FAXX. I don't want to kill the rest of my brain cells listening to Amber's entire live stream. And like I said, she's been on a tear lately, going after people that react to her. So I want to react to it, but I don't want to open up the door to what she might do. So we're just doing a shorter version. Hope you guys are okay with that. All right, let's go.
Amber's Aunt Tammy is back in the spotlight after posting some shady things to her YouTube account. Remember this Aunt Tammy?
And I get a message from some woman on Facebook. I mean, back in the day on MySpace, sorry, saying, oh my God, I found you. Oh my God. Like, it was my aunt, which is my mom's sister. I messaged them back so quickly. Like, we started talking, and I was in foster care at the time. And like, I told my social worker about it. And she's like, oh my God, you need to go visit them. And I'm like, I did. When I was 17, I met my cousins and I met my aunt, and like we were all finally close. And I was like, okay, I'm 18, I'm out of foster care, I want to live with you guys. And so I went to go live with my aunt, and here I am now, 25 years old. I don't understand something. My aunt has completely stopped talking to me. She blocked me on Facebook, blocked me on her cell phone, blocked my number completely. And the reasoning is because I'm fat. I'm not kidding. I know.
No, I don't believe that. That already sounds strange and suspicious to me. I'm going by your words, Amber. I don't know your family history. Like, I am not a long time reactor to you, but even as someone that I've dipped my toes in the water with you, what you're saying does not make sense. So your aunt reached out to you on MySpace. Girl, I was there on MySpace. What do you mean? What did you do on old school MySpace? You shared pictures. And you had like a top 10 or top 5 friends, and everybody was fighting to be in the top 5. And if your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your best friend wasn't in the top 5, they would get mad at you. I remember that. But why would your aunt block you for being a big girl when I'm sure you took pictures and put them on MySpace showing how you were then? Like, you're trying to say that your aunt is fat phobic, but wasn't she the one that reached out to you first? So I'm sure that she saw pictures of you, right? So if she saw pictures of you, then she would know what you look like. So just simply saying my aunt blocked me because I was a big girl, no, there's more to this story. What happened?
Oh, that sounds bad saying it like that, but the truth is it's because I'm fat.
Then Tammy went.
Okay. So this, I guess, was, what, is there a date here? Okay. So I'm looking at the date. I know you guys can't see it. It's up here in the corner of when this post was done. Looks like it came from the Kiwi Farmers. July 17th, 2017. So this is quite a while ago. The post says, hopefully this picture can shed some light on that. I never left her because she was fat. If anyone could understand, it was me, and I tried. Hours and hours and hours and hours of text and pictures and recipes, tips, Weight Watchers, this diet, that diet. As I learned, I wanted to share with her, teach her, support her, see her continually make excuse after excuse, lie after lie. I was spinning wheels and getting nowhere with her. I caught her lying about being able to take her lunch to work because I was explaining how she has to take responsibility for her food choices. Prepare in advance. Make your lunches and take it. She went on to explain a million reasons why she couldn't instead of ways she could. So I finally had enough and called her job and posed as a potential interested employee and asked some questions. If it was to become employed with your company, is there a place where I can store my lunch because I'm only a very strict diet and I want to make sure I will have that option? Of course, the girl told me yes. Like, what workplace doesn't allow you to bring your lunch to work? I confronted Amber and she went as far as to quickly write with a marker on a piece of white paper and put on her workplace wall and took a picture to try and prove her case. Well, you see, I am smarter than the average bear. And so I told her I wasn't stupid and she could have easily have just done that for show. Long story short, I busted her lying again. I believe a couple of days later, there was a video, same room, same setup, but no note posted anymore. After she damaged my trust completely, it became impossible to believe what she was telling me most of the time. On top of that, head games and her own self-destructive behavior, it became too much to deal with. See, I knew there was more to the story than that. There had to have been. Because what aunt is who reaches out to you on MySpace makes a point to reach out to you to reconnect with you? Once they connect, or they're going to say, oh, you're too fat to deal with. Because of your weight, you're my niece. I don't want to talk to you. It wasn't because of the weight. It was because Amberlynn lied to her aunt multiple times and damaged the trust. That was what caused the rift between those two.
To Kiwi Farms to deny these allegations and to share the real reasons she cut ties with her niece. So then Amber decided to make a video confessing to all her lies, which included the lie about her aunt.
And I feel like I need to kind of admit to some things that I have lied about. When I upload,
You know, liars never confess to the truth unless they know that they're busted. You put you put a liar in a corner and they can't get out of it. That's when they'll tell the truth. They won't tell the truth otherwise. It's like, I've been busted. But I can't get my way out of this. I can't lie my way out of it. I can't manipulate my way out of it. So I have to confess. That is the only time you get the truth out of a liar, like Liar Lynn over here. The aunt wanted to help Amber get healthy, was encouraging her to get healthy, was getting frustrated because Amber did not want to get healthy. Amber was so resistant to the idea of getting healthy that she went so far as to lie to her aunt and stage having a sign behind her to back up her lie. Rather than just go to the aunt and say, yes, we're allowed bag lunches, but I don't want bag lunches. I want other food. She'd rather lie to her aunt and damage the trust with the aunt that she hadn't talked to in a long time.
I did a video about how my aunt doesn't talk to me anymore because I'm fat. I ended up talking to her regarding that video. I had no idea they were going to see it.
So you went online on your channel in front of the public, lying on your aunt to other people, to strangers. And you did that, what, to be spiteful? Because you were angry and frustrated with your aunt because she was doing what a loving family member might do. If they see you unhealthy, they want you to be healthy. They have good intentions. Granted, Amber, it is your life. You can do with it as you please. If you don't want to get healthy, you don't have to. But your aunt was just trying to be a good aunt. But you didn't want that. You didn't want that kind of care. You're resisting it. So you got mad at her for trying to help you. And you did the worst thing possible. You got on your channel and told a great big lie on your aunt and made her seem like a complete butthole. Like, oh, my aunt stopped talking because I'm fat. That's very hurtful. So not only did you lie to your aunt, which is bad, but then you're going to lie to an entire audience of people and paint a bad picture of her. You know, just being a hurtful person for no reason.
I had no idea my aunt even watched my YouTube anymore.
Yeah, and you told that lie thinking that the aunt wasn't going to see it, wasn't going to hear about it. Amber, you've known about Girl World for years. You had to know it was going to get back around to your aunt. You know, people do reach out. Some people choose to reach out to family members and say, did you hear about this? Did you hear that? Here, let me show you a video clip. Let me show you a picture of what happened. So you were being shady against your own aunt, someone who cared about you. You were being shady. Oh, I can talk a bunch of mess on my aunt on my YouTube channel because I feel they're not going to hear about it and they're not going to know. But they did know. So much so they went to the Kiwi Farms and set it straight. And then after they set it straight, then you're going to confess to the truth.
Have, mental issues that cause, me to be bigger. And I kind of wanted to ignore all that and just be like, oh, my aunt doesn't talk to me because I'm fat. I just thought it would be easier. I pushed her away because of just who I am and how I am as a person. And that's the truth.
Well, she's back, and she's being shady all over Facebook, with lots of posts about karma, and having receipts. And she's been all over YouTube, and has even gone as far as contacting Emily, and has posted their conversation. Tammy messages Emily and says, I have stayed quiet for as long as I wish. I seen you for what you were from the very beginning. I tried to warn Amber and my sister. You all will get the karma you deserve. Hell has a special place reserved for people like you. Emily says, I'm assuming you're Amber's aunt? You literally know nothing about me. Leave me alone. Then Tammy calls Emily out for being a feeder, tells her it should be a crime, and tells her to leave Amber alone before she unalives her too. Emily accuses Tammy of believing internet rumors and says she's no different than the haters. Tammy lets Emily know she's one of the reasons she and Amber don't speak anymore, and tells her to go raise her daughter. Emily repeats that Aunt Tammy is just believing stupid internet rumors. In her YouTube comments, she also says Amber's story about saving her brother's life when the blinds cord was wrapped around his neck is true, but she also says Amber's self-diagnosis lies constantly,
So Hecticana says, did Amber save her brother from the blinds cord? Do you think Amber would exaggerate stories to get attention, like being blanked or having mental illness or anything? The aunt, Tammy, says, I was not there during the blind incident, but my sister has confirmed to me in the past that it was true. Amber exaggerates stories to get attention. Absolutely 100%. Self-diagnoses many, many times. Lies constantly and exaggerates her stories all the time. So much I could say, well, it sounds like Tammy's ready to talk to us.
Exaggerates stories to get attention, and says there's so much she could say. She's just looking for a channel to spill the tea to. Amber's chronically online, so of course she immediately went on YouTube Live, reacted to all of this, and tried to set the record straight.
Before I moved here, it was like 2 months before I moved here, my mom and my aunt, who are sisters, so Mama Lynn and my aunt, I'm just going to call her Tammy because I feel disgust. Like, I used to call her Auntie, but literally
Okay, we got to slow it down because normally Amberlynn talks really, really slow. So we're going to slow her down just a little bit.
she's nothing to me. She's nothing to me. So Mama Lynn and Tammy got in a fight 2 months before I got here. Not a physical fight, but like an argument. And it was a big enough argument that my mom was genuinely hurt. My mom does not even like her own sister. My mom does not like her own sister. So I ended up coming here. And my aunt did come over the first day I was here. It was even while Feline was still here. So she met Feline, the whole nine. So I moved here at the beginning of October. I didn't end up seeing my aunt again until like Thanksgiving. So it was almost 2 months later. Finally, in February of 2024, I sent her a picture of me and her from Thanksgiving, and I was just like, love you, miss you. And all she did was heart it, and she never like responded. And I think I took that as a hint. I was like, okay, so we're doing this thing where
I'm just taking a guess here. Just a guess, Amber. I don't know your family dynamics. I wasn't in the room when you were having interactions with your family. But when you are someone, family or not, and you've had an interaction with somebody, clearly they've lied to you and you caught them in a lie. You catch them in a bunch of lies, which is what happened with you and Tammy. She caught you in a bunch of lies, like the lying about the bag lunches at work after she tried to help you get healthy. And you went so far as to make up a sign and put it behind you. Like when you see someone acting like that, it makes you not want to be around them, even if you're family. You don't trust the person. You don't trust what they do. You don't trust what they say. The trust is broken. And how can you get it back once it's completely broken? Maybe that's why she wasn't responding to you too terribly much. Maybe she was questioning what kind of a person you are and what kind of path you're on and what your intentions are. Like maybe she was picking up some bad energy from you.
we're going to be mad at Amberlynn because she came from Mama Lynn's womb. Like my aunt and my mom were having the dramatics. My aunt and my mom were having the beef. My aunt and my mom were going through it. Like it had nothing to do with me. So I didn't hear from my aunt at all. My aunt has no idea who Emily is. My aunt has never heard of Emily.
Really? That's the narrative we're going with? Clearly, Amber, if she's going to Emily and calling Emily a feedie, which she is, Emily is a dangerous feedie because she's on the extreme side of it, like the feed you until you, let's just say, go to the other side. She seems to have a pattern with that. She doesn't just like big women. She likes women who are really, really big, really, really unhealthy. Something might happen to them. And what's crazy is that Emily is in healthcare. And I'm just giving my opinion right now on Emily. I am not in the mind of Emily. I don't know her psychology. Only a therapist or a psychologist would be able to figure all this out. But to me, Emily seems to be like an angel of death, okay? A literal death. Like she wants to get with a woman who's really big and feed them until something medical happens to them or it leads to a fatality. Maybe there's some sick, twisted psychology involved here, y'all, where Emily wants to be the greatest love of somebody's life until they pass on. Maybe that, I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I'm not saying that as a definite, but it's just something weird is going on with Emily. Like she literally wants someone to get bigger and bigger and bigger until they're in the hospital and maybe something happens to them. But clearly, Aunt Tammy knows all about Emily. We saw that in the messages that were just posted. Her calling Emily a feedie. If she knows nothing about Emily, why would she say that? How would she know that? Clearly, Aunt Tammy has been on the farms before, and Aunt Tammy is on YouTube, and Aunt Tammy knows about the reaction channels, and she knows about Mr. Snowflake. How would she not know about Emily? How would she not know? Maybe people have also sent her things. So saying that she knows nothing about Emily, don't believe that.
I have not spoken to my aunt since February 2024. I met Emily June 2020.
Just because you haven't spoken to your aunt in a long time doesn't mean that she doesn't know things, Amber. Even if you're family, sometimes you hear things from other people. And if those other people are sending proof of what's being said, receipts, video clips, pictures, screenshots. I'm sure the aunt has heard enough. And maybe as your aunt, she is concerned that you're with someone like Emily, who seems to have a pattern and a history of getting with women, encouraging them to get so big they end up in the hospital. I know that you're a narc and you don't understand the concept of love, healthy love. But when you have healthy love for someone, you want them to be the best themselves that they could be. You want them to be healthy. You want them to be happy. And your aunt is seeing you with Emily, who is not someone who will promote you to be the healthier version of yourself. Emily will promote you to be the most unhealthy, sick version of yourself. And I'm sure you've already got health problems. I don't know what they are. Only a doctor would know. But Emily is someone that promotes unhealthy living. And your aunt doesn't want that for you. She doesn't want you to be unhealthy. She wants you to be very healthy. And Emily is just the opposite.
24.
On top of that, the two of you have a toxic love-hate relationship. You can't get away from each other. You fight. There's drama. I mean, we saw the Mr. Snowflake video. It got physical. This is not someone you're supposed to be around, but that's for you to figure out.
So please remember that. Literally the end of June 2024. So I have not seen my aunt. I have not talked to my aunt about Emily. None of my family has met Emily besides.
Red flag. Big red flag. So nobody in your family has met Emily. Why? Why? If this person is the love in your life, why wouldn't you arrange for Emily to meet your family? If this is the one for you, Amber, why hasn't Emily met your family? What are you afraid of? What's Emily afraid of? If things are serious, I mean, you and Emily have been seeing each other for more than a minute. Like, you guys are in deep with each other, yet you don't want Emily to meet the family? Very, very odd. Very odd. Usually the way it goes, if you're in a healthy relationship and you love the person and they love you, you want them to meet your family. So why hasn't that happened?
It's my grandma and my mom. So today, my mom calls me. She was like, "Do you see what's happening?" When I found out, my jaw was on the ground. So my aunt's been like doing some weird stuff, trying to reach out to Snowflake and like, I don't know, out of literal nowhere. What happened was
You know what, Amber? I gotta say, just watching this, this is another reason why I'm not reacting to your live stream. On top of the fact that you've been strike happy and going after people, you are angry at somebody, not the reaction channels. But I think you're taking out your anger maybe from Emily on the reaction channels. Maybe you're mad because you've gotten boring, which is your problem. It's your choice. Maybe you're mad because you're not making the money that you need to make or you want to make, and you're taking out your anger and your frustration on the reaction channels by going after them. But another reason why I'm not reacting to you is because I'm watching you right now, just this brief clip, and you are putting on such a front. You are not being real, and it's getting on my nerves. You are not being real when you should. This little smug attitude is getting on my nerves. I can't stand it.
aunt literally saw me in distress in my live stream, hyperventilating, anxiety, crying about Emily, literally heartbroken. And my aunt literally sat there and said, how do I make this worse? I messaged.
You're accusing your aunt of making things worse. But let me ask you this, Amber. Who in the F gets online when you're having an entire meltdown about the person that you're with? You decide to turn on a camera and monetize it. Who does that? Your heart is broken. You're in pieces on the inside, and you just had to turn on a camera and go all the way off. Any other normal person would say, you know what? I'm going to keep the camera off right now and get myself together. This is the last thing I want to show people. But you turned the camera on. So you decided to play your part in making things worse, didn't you? You had yourself a little meltdown, a little hissy fit, and monetized the hissy fit. And you made a lot of money off it. Yes, you did. You're still milking it for all it's worth.
Sure, I took the hints. I sent her a picture of her and I, February of 2024, and I said, miss you and love you, and she did not respond. I took the hints. But I messaged her today, and this is what I said. My mom messaged her too today and was like, what are you doing? My aunt popped off some wild, like unhinged.
And I also feel like this live stream, that this is damage control. Like, Darks go into damage control mode when things are starting to come out about them, and they're trying to get ahead of the narrative, and they're trying to control the narrative.
Like narrative that isn't even real. Like genuinely, like I'm scared for my aunt. She almost sounds like she's like not fully sober. Like that's the best. That's how it seems to me. Like the things that she's saying is just like no, crazy.
So you guys can see the comments in the chat, right? I can't blow up the comments because it's not actual text. Cass says, how did she know E was a feedie? I'm sure she's heard things. I mean, it's all over Girl World. How could she not know? She's on YouTube, and she's also on the Kiwi Farms, apparently. Detective Binky says, oh, girl. She's on the phone with him, meaning Jordy, and she's going on and on and on. Oh, Lord. Yep, she sure was.
Easiest thing I've ever seen. So I reached out to her today, and I said, I'm reaching out because I truly don't understand what's going on. We have already talked through and forgiven each other for anything that happened years and years ago. Since I've been in Oklahoma, I have done nothing to you, yet you've chosen to ignore me because of an argument you and my mom are both going through, which has absolutely nothing to do with me at all. I went to Thanksgiving a couple years ago and thought everything was.
You know, again, Amber, this is you minimizing what you did with your aunt. I don't know if there's any other incidents, but okay, your aunt and your mother are having a fight. And maybe what's going on between them has nothing to do with you. It might. You might have been a topic of conversation, but putting that aside for a minute, what about you lying to your aunt? Did it ever figure in maybe that's the reason why she's not talking to you, because you lied to her face?
Was fine, but to my surprise, you have decided to outcast me, and because of the issues you and my mom are dealing with. I'm not the type to take sides. Now you're going online making negative comments about me, my mom, and my ex. You've seen how much I've been struggling lately via my live streams. You've seen the pain I'm in. Because my aunt, like, she's known for watching every single thing I post online. It's just
Really? So just a few minutes ago, you said, I don't know how, she doesn't know anything about Emily. Now you're saying she watches every single thing about me. So I guess she knows a lot about Emily because you talked about Emily and the community has talked about Emily. That's how she knows.
already really weird. And instead of offering kindness, you've decided to make it worse. Her response was, funny how you reach out now, but not for the last 2 years. Goodbye, Amber.
Ooh. Slam the door in the face. That's a slam the door in the face moment. That's a talk to the hand because of the face ain't listening. She slammed the door in your face, so you didn't reach out to her for 2 years, and then all of a sudden, when all this stuff is coming out, then you reach out. Like, she read you like a book.
I responded and said, I did reach out. You didn't respond. Since Thanksgiving of 2023, every time we spoke, it was because I messaged you first. Then you stopped responding altogether in February 2024. What was I to do with that? I could take a hint. Your aunt is spilling about it all out on you. Huh? Where at? We can do a live reaction. I'm George.
And on that note, Amber, I don't want to hear you criticize the reaction channels ever again. Because you reacted to Jordy and your aunt. You're doing a reaction too.
Jordy's live.
Okay, so obviously she's over there trying to say that I'm mentally unstable and this and that.
You are mentally unstable, love. You are mentally unstable. We're both cut from the same cloth.
Aren't we all in one way or another?
The difference is I'm not sitting here going online and being, or actually ignoring my niece for no reason because
Amber, you just don't get it. Here, let me help you. You need a lot of help, and I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. You need professional help, and I am not a professional. But you just don't get it, do you? Everybody has their limit. Everybody has that line, that toleration line that once it's crossed, there's no going back. You pushed your aunt so much, that line was crossed, apparently, and she's done. When somebody is done with you, they are done. And sometimes that done could mean an argument and then you're done, or it could be silence and you're done. And it sounds like Aunt Tammy, she gave you silence and she was done. And now she's speaking out because she's got things she wants to say. And that greatly upsets you.
I'm in an argument with her mother.
So I've had my day, I have my diagnoses, I have my labels, but I am mentally sound. The total, absolute grossness of this feeder era, I just can't.
Feeder era? My aunt is literally saying feeder era.
The final.
Just remember, Amber, you decided to get involved with Emily, knowing what her interest was. And you even said to yourself a couple of live streams ago about Emily. Is she in love with me or is she in love with my belly? So you know that she's got this interest. You knew before we knew. And maybe that was the reason why you gravitated towards Emily, because you looked at it as a bonus. To be with someone that you wanted to eat all the food you could handle, and Emily was not only not going to stop you, but promote you to get bigger. And that's exactly what you were looking for, someone who would not fight against your poor lifestyle choices, that would be on board and actually make them worse, which is your choice. It's your life. But you knew what Emily was, what she still is. And it got revealed to the internet. People found out, called her out for it. You decided to stay with her. And you've gained a lot of weight since then. But I'm sure to family members, it's disturbing knowing that about Emily and what it can lead to. I know you don't want to acknowledge it because, listen, when someone is an addict of anything, if they're a severe addict, even a food addict, if the addict is cool with you, more than likely it's because you are complacent in what's going on with them. You're not speaking up. You're not fighting against it. You're not doing the opposing point of view. If they're fighting with you, it's probably because you're trying to do something to save their life or to stop them from the addiction. You're trying to get in the way of it. And Amber's aunt sees what's going on and she's like, this is unhealthy. This is not right to be with that person who is just going to make things worse and you might end up in the hospital. Your aunt actually cares about you, Amber. And I'm sure she's tried to help you offline, talk to you, help you be healthy, and you just kept fighting and fighting and fighting against it. And now you're with Tommy. And maybe she might be scared about where that's going to lead to.
Really has been building up, and I've been saying it. It's coming. It's coming. A person can only hold back so much.
You don't know me.
I'm human at the end of the day.
I'm human at the end of the day.
My sister
Me
and
too.
Amber have done me extremely wrong over the last 2 years, and
My sister and Amber have done me extremely wrong in the last 2 years. Can I show the pic of us? Yes, of course I can. There we are. Miss you and love you. And she never responded. And that's when I took the hint. And that's what I sent her today.
I've seen every single video she's ever put out. I have tried to be a good aunt to Amber.
You never tried to be a good aunt to me, love. Here I am.
She's never tried to be a good aunt to you. So she tried to help you get healthy, encourage you to eat healthy. You didn't want to do it. Clearly, you didn't want to do it, to the point where you fought against it. You went as far as to make a fake sign to put directly behind you for a picture, but she never tried to help you. I would believe that if I didn't know about the rest of it, Amber. But she did try to help you. She tried to help you get healthy. So that's a lie. She did try to help you. You just didn't want to be helped.
I am in the flesh trying to be a good niece for you. And
You were trying to be a good niece? Is that why you lied to your aunt? Tell me how that's being a good niece.
she's saying she's pissed you didn't go to her wedding because you were too big but went to other places. Yeah, I could not go to her wedding. Yeah, I couldn't go to her wedding. And I didn't go to other places. Like, do you know how far away Kentucky is from Oklahoma? Like, I didn't go to other places. I didn't go anywhere. And do you want to know something really fucking crazy? She got married on my mom's fucking soberversary date. My mom's soberversary is November 1st. And it's going to be, this year will be 10 years. My aunt got married on my mom's 7th soberversary date. Who does that? Billie Eilish, Wisconsin was a 2-hour drive. A 2-hour drive. She's mad that I didn't drive like 10 plus hours to go to her wedding because I literally couldn't at the time, especially because it was around the time where I hurt my ankle. Do you guys remember that? I was still healing from that. It was a mess. But yet I am, 15 minutes away from her now? And she never came to see me.
Well, if you guys are 15 minutes away from each other, why haven't you gone to her? I mean, she could have come to you, but why didn't you go to her house? Why didn't you take an Uber or something? 15 minutes, Amber. I mean, how much money does that cost for an Uber? You couldn't just take an Uber over there and show up and knock on the door and say, "Can I please talk to you? I really want to talk to you." Why didn't you go to her house?
I have so many messages and calls and just telling her I'm not trying to replace your mom. I'm just trying to be your person, I've tried to teach her.
Yep. And this person, Cass, in the comments makes a very valid point. Cass says, but you could drive to the Feedy, couldn't you? You could drive to Emily, couldn't you? Huh, Amber? You couldn't go to your aunt's wedding, but you made sure to get to Emily.
On how to diet and exercise and make good choices and sing.
And look who's in the chat. I know you guys can't see the name, but right here. where my pointer is. It's Quirky Love Rosie. Rosie, you just haven't learned yet, have you? You are so all in Amberlynn's Kool-Aid when you shouldn't be. Didn't you just tell us in a few live streams back that you and Amber had a conversation on the phone privately, and a version of something that was said on her channel did not match the version that you heard on the phone, and that disturbed you? But yet here you are in Amberlynn's chat, involving yourself yet again. Why? Sticking your nose where it does not belong. This is why you get accused of touching the poo, because you just can't seem to stay out of the pasture. You just keep stepping in the dung, don't you, dear? Well, that's going to cost you later, but you'll find that out.
She's trying to teach me how to diet and exercise, even though she's gained all her weight back that she lost when she was doing keto. Yes, XL Hoodie, Tammy had an affair. That is exactly how she met her husband, by cheating on her other husband. Yes, that is correct.
And look, that's personal family stuff. I don't know how that relates to what's going on here. I think Amber is just tossing that in to be extra hurtful. Like I don't see a valid reason to bring that up.
Moving on.
Save money, and this is even before she blew up on YouTube. Then she blew up on YouTube, and then she gets this, better than everyone else mentality. She keeps all her girlfriends, every single one I have never met, even though I was the one constant in her life.
You never met them because we're in a completely different state, and you did meet Feline the day that Feline dropped me off and you came over here. All because you have bed bugs and had to get rid of every single ounce of furniture you have. You're taking it out on me.
Again, tossing in details that I'm like, how does this relate? But I would like to drop in to what she just said. I can't confirm this. I have no receipts, but I heard a while back that Eric and Ricky got bed bugs because of Amber. So isn't it weird how the bed bug thing is coming back up?
I didn't give you bed bugs. I'm almost going to be 35. Our drama that we have is from my mid-20s lower.
I never got to talk to any of them, of course, so she can keep her narrative straight, right?
And I want to toss this in, even if you live, like, say, another state away, like, or maybe you can't go to see your relative. What about FaceTime? What about doing a FaceTime with yourself, your significant other, and your relative, and kind of introduce them to your family that way? Was that ever done?
I'm sure she had lots to say about me to each and every one.
Ooh, if the shoe fits, ma'am. If the shoe fits. What do the haters say? Don't touch the poo? Like, you're not only touching the poo, but you're licking it and eating it. Like,
I put all my sister's business out on there for years with no cost. Now, talk about my mom, things, people that are in her life now, but she's still badmouthing them. She's still running the narrative that she's this poor little victim. Amber had more chances than most people do. The difference is she was rescued from that, put into foster care. Every foster care house she went into was better than I had ever dreamed of living in. You know what I mean? She had those opportunities, but she squashed them, and she never...
you don't know what I went through in my foster homes. I have shared bits and pieces of these things.
appreciated them. She would talk mad.
Because I'm allowed to, Binks.
Me over the phone while they're in.
So what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? I can see that Amber, she's trying to hold it in. What's going on here is that Amber has her YouTube channel. She has her forum. She has her platform. And she's talked mad trash about a lot of people on her channel. Always under the assumption of, like, I can say whatever I want and it will never come back and bite me in the butt. And the people that I talk about, either they're not going to find out about it, therefore they won't respond, or they don't have the platform to respond. They're not going to open their mouth. So she feels like she's had free reign to say whatever she wants about people. And she's talked a lot of mad trash about her family. And it disturbs her when somebody actually comes forward and they give her a taste of her own medicine. Like after her and Beck broke up, Amber talked mad trash about Beck for a long time, just kept bringing up Beck's name until Beck responded, and still bringing up Beck's name. And maybe the aunt is just like, I'm tired of you talking this mad trash. I got a YouTube channel. I know about the reaction channels, and I'm going to respond to the things you say. You know, Amber needs to learn. She just can't talk mad trash and lies about people and think that she can get away with it. She can't now.
Their, huge house and swimming in their pool and feeding her. Never good enough.
Where am I at? I'm in a huge house with a pool getting fed. I literally feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Everyone knows my sister was in prison, right? My sister was in prison for strangling our mom in a drunken rage. She loved to spread that. Never a dime on her books. It was me every single month.
When my mom was in prison, I didn't have much money. I can definitely admit to that. Yeah, this is my mom's sister. My mom is so hurt and shocked by this. And wait until she hears like what's happening now. My mom is gonna be so hurt.
Every single month, I paid her fines with her. I visited her. I did video calls. I drove long distances.
When my mom was in prison, I didn't even write her, I didn't send, I wrote her this whole long thing. It was updating her on my life, and I was gonna send it. I was, but something was telling me not to,
When my sister was homeless on the streets, I yelled for her name at the top of my lungs for 8 solid months in very dangerous neighborhoods looking for my sister. I have the picture the day I found my sister. One of the happiest days of my life, but it's not even when she got well. It still took a while. It took her to go to prison. Amber loves to talk about that as the victim, even though she wouldn't even write my sister.
I am a victim. What did I do to you in the last 5 years? You're surrounded by absolute snakes. What does it tell all about them on the internet?
You know, and I'm gonna put the speed back up. Sorry, she's talking a little bit slow. Oh, oops, sorry, but I don't think Amber is crying over the relationship between myself and my aunt. It's all the way broken. She's crying for herself. If she's upset for real, and this is not performative, she's upset over somebody putting stuff out there and she can't control the narrative. She can't get ahead of it. She can't slow it down. She can't stop it. She's crying for herself.
I have no idea. Not Kevin. They got in a fight 2 years ago, and since then, my aunt has wanted nothing to do with me, even though I have nothing to do with it.
I would beg her, write your mom. Get stamp. She won't even buy it. More, I have the text. She's not worth the 42-cent stamp.
Boom. Wow. So the aunt has text from Amber talking about her mom in prison, saying she's not worth the 42 cents for a stamp. Wow. Wow.
Even though Amber didn't want to help her mom ever, she always expected me to. And I did. I no longer let my sister into my home because she abused me over and over and over. She used drugs and alcohol in my home behind my back when I'm giving her a roof over her head and clothes on her body. And when she disrespected me the last time, I told her, you need to get out. Amber was there visiting me before my sister even got there, and we were good.
We were good because I feel like my own aunt love bombed me. I visited her when I was 17. Everything.
Hold on a minute, Amber. Let's back up and process what was just said. So your mom at the time was under the influence. And it was because of the being under the influence and that kind of energy and what was going on that was why your aunt did not want your mom in her house. And we just learned earlier that not only like your mom had your aunt had her own situation going on with the person that she was with. That by itself is a lot. Dealing with somebody who's that hurtful. Do you understand? Like dealing with somebody who is very, 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 very hurtful. Even when it's over, you're still shattered. You're still putting the pieces of your life back together. You're still putting the pieces of yourself back together. You feel like a broken mirror and all of your pieces are far away from each other. And you're just trying to figure out what piece goes with what and attach a little bit of glue so that you can halfway see your reflection again. And then to bring somebody in that they've got severe issues and they don't want to change. Yeah, I can see why your aunt did not want that energy in her house.
Was good. And then I move in when I'm 18 and then we do nothing. And it's miserable. They didn't even have enough money to get food or anything. So I went and got food stamps. And I remember I sat there and I was approved for food stamps. My aunt went that was the first time we ever like had a true big argument. She went crazy because all I said was like, I'm glad I'm able to help because I gave her all my food stamps. My aunt is not a victim here. She's not innocent.
But because her mom was there, she wanted to get smart with me.
She kicked out my mom. And at the time, I'm 18 years old. I stuck up for my mom. And I was like,
and that's fine. You stuck up for your mom. Like you are a daughter. Of course, you're going to feel protective of your mom. But maybe at the time that you were young, you didn't understand, like, because there's adults in the room. You're a child still. Like, you got to understand, like, if you're someone and you're living in a house and there's somebody doing substances, that can lead to a whole lot of problems that the house owner does not want to deal with. They don't want to come home and see stuff they don't want to see. But you went into daughter protective mode, protecting your mom, not understanding the situation as it was. Like whoever owns the house, it's their rules. You got to follow the rules. If you don't, you got to go.
On my mom's side. So that is the only reason why my aunt kicked me out, is because I was on my mom's side.
And that's when it all began on YouTube. Amber went on that vacation. She was supposed to be gone 2 weeks. My mom kicked her out, and then we can just keep going. I've been my sister's keeper my whole entire life.
And now she's really going to hate you for this.
And yeah, I didn't want Amber anywhere near my sister to jeopardize her sobriety.
Have I jeopardized her sobriety? No. We are closer than we've ever fucking been. And it has pissed you off. It has enraged you to the point that you were verbally abusing my mom earlier today. You need help.
But me and my sister's relationship is destroyed for a whole new, a totally separate reason. Nothing to do with Amber.
No.
During these 2 years that I haven't talked to my sister, Amber hasn't talked to me. She has.
You guys heard what she just said, right? During this whole time, she hasn't spoken to me. November 25th, I asked her a question and she replied. on November 26th. December 8th, I asked her if she's okay, like, how are you? She stops responding to me. So then
Yeah, and I agree with this person's comment. Common sense GW says, stop yelling. The pets are probably scared. I agree with that. You're entirely too loud in that house, Amber. You're scaring your pets. Quit it.
And on December 25th said, Merry Christmas, da da da. She didn't even say happy birthday to me, which was after Christmas, as you guys know. And then I messaged her again, February 1st. I know how she likes Eric and Ricky, and they were visiting me. So I wanted to know if she wanted to meet them. And then she never communicated with me. So then that was February 21st. This was my way of saying, like, bro, like, I love and miss you. Like, you know, and she never responded. She didn't text me. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I'm literally echoing. It's crackling. Scratchy.
I dreamt of this day. That's what you guys don't understand. I dreamt of this right here. My sister to be clean and sober. It was beyond my dreams. Beyond my.
But you ruined it. How old is she? She is emotionally immature. She's very emotionally immature. She's like in her 40s. Their aunt being paid for this. It seems like it, doesn't it?
She used me to go check out her apartment because her mom didn't have time or the want.
I didn't use you to go check out my apartment.
And remember what you said earlier, Amber. You said, my aunt never helped me. Sounds like she gave you a whole lot of help.
You were willing to do a virtual tour for me. Virtual tour isn't anything to hold over you. Clearly it is, Pookie. Clearly it is.
Over and over. I mean, but what got me here the other day was the theater stuff that just recently happened with.
Oh, that's what got you. You saw your niece in distress, hyperventilating, crying on camera, heartbroken, embarrassed, and ashamed. And you say, you know what? Let's make it worse. Crazy.
With Emily and stuff, I tried to warn my sister when I first heard of her. First, I said that girl is not good for Amber. She's gonna kill your daughter.
You have not spoken to my mom since I've known Emily.
She's gonna beat her till she dies, like she did her wife, right? Oh no, we want
Her wife, like literally you have all the information so fucking twisted. That wasn't her wife, first of all. No, that never fucking happened. Like, genuinely.
She's so sweet. She bought this for us. She came and visited. Oh, she rents a Jeep. Okay? Did you not hear what I just said? She likes obese women to the point of.
You're also obese and you're also married and you have a girlfriend. So that means your partner is also like obese. So I don't know what to fucking tell you at this point. Like, I'm allowed to be in a, like, this isn't about Emily. Like, genuinely, this isn't about Emily. It's not about feeders. It's not about fat people are allowed to be found attractive too.
It would have been one of the happiest days of my life if.
The disturbing thing about Emily, though, Amber, like, there's nothing wrong with liking or loving or being involved with somebody of a bigger size. Like, love comes in whatever form it does. Sometimes it's smaller, sometimes it's bigger. The darker part of the picture is Emily's fetish, which has been documented. Emily's got a pattern, and it's a dangerous pattern. Like, literally, she's an angel of death. She wants to get with a woman. She wants to be, I guess, the love of that woman's life. Feed her until something happens to her, and then move on to the next. She's a living angel of death.
Never would have came to my wedding.
I couldn't.
I loved her that much. I never gave up on that girl, no matter how many fights we got into, no matter how many times she outright just lied to me. She tried blackmailing me. I mean, the thing she has done is incredible. But I still.
I'm trying to think of what I blackmailed her on because that's not true.
I have 3 grown children. I have grandkids. None of them have nothing to do with them.
That's literally not true. And if you want to talk about your children, one of them hates you, despises, wouldn't cry if you died. That is literally what she told me.
Well, it's become almost an addiction for me when you follow anybody, right?
I'm her addiction.
2,000 years later.
Amber told me there was so much stuff to tell me about Jade that was gonna just surprise me, and she was horrible, and she did horrible things, and all these things, and she was gonna.
This is none of my aunts. She does not have a right to be speaking on any of my relationships or anything.
Tell us all about it as soon as she got here.
And that makes me so glad that I didn't tell her anything. That makes me so glad because whatever happened between me and Feline, it should have just stayed there.
She keeps them very secluded from her people.
No, I don't, because literally when Emily was here, I could not wait to be around family. I could not wait to introduce her to my mom and all of us hang out with my grandma, my stepdad. So that's not true. It's just you, because I fucking despise you. Because remember the last time you went to Kiwi Farms? I'm scared of you. I'm scared of your lies. I'm scared of your betrayal. And my whole night is completely wasted. I had plans. I was going to do this, do that. Not
Sure, you had plans for the night. You were going to hit the town and paint it red. Okay.
like out of my apartment, but
I needed to say it apparently. It sucks that it has to go like this, but at the
oh, you already regretting it? You should.
end of the day, you just gotta let it out sometimes. I've been holding
Yeah, you could have let it out to me, to my mom, but no, you're like, you know what? Amberlynn's in distress. Let's make it worse.
it up and make things better. There's nothing they can say.
You know what, Amber? I don't feel sorry for you because this is the price you pay for getting on your channel and talking trash about people and being arrogant and stupid and thinking that the things you say on YouTube or maybe Instagram or wherever else you say you're trash, that it's not going to come back and haunt you at some point. That the people you talk about, that they're just not going to bother responding. Some of them might.
At this point. And that's why I'm doing this, to make sure to, you know, lock it in. Destroy
Oh.
anything that could have possibly been left.
Let's listen to that part again. That's why I'm doing this, to destroy anything that could have been left.
So that's it for what happened last night, y'all. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I would like to say thank you to Apathetic FAXX for doing the video. I will post the link down below in the description for those of you that would like to check out Apathetic FAXX. I'm not reacting to your live stream as it is, Amber. No. It's just you were smug. You were not crying over the situation with the family. You were crying over yourself. I ain't having it. I'm just covering it through somebody else. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.